All right. So everyone will gather back and welcome back online. Again, we got kicked off because of electricity. So, all right. Jen, we are back to you. All right. So, what does equity mean to you in public education? What responsibilities do school district trustees have to create equitable opportunities for all students? I'll go ahead and repeat that. What does equity mean to you in public education? What responsibilities do school district trustees have to create equitable opportunities for all students?
So I believe equity definitely plays a role in public education, and like I've stated previously tonight, public education needs to meet the needs of students where they're at. Obviously we have students that come from different situations, different backgrounds, different disabilities, everything. And I feel that equity needs to, again, we need to meet the child where they're at and, again, lift them up to basically so they are provided with the same experiences, education as all students. As far as responsibilities of a board, I think it's vital that a board plays an important role in making sure that there are policies and guidelines in place for to do that. I know that there's a definitely confusion around equality and equity. And as far as did it go off again? Oh, sorry.
Pulse might come
down. And I think there is you hear the terms interchanged a lot, but as far as my understanding, it's not just providing a good education, which we're doing. We do that for all students, but like I said, again, meeting the individual students where they're at. Each student's going to need. There's going to be some that need extra support through the resources that this district provides, and there's others that don't. And I think as a public education system, we need to make sure that we are meeting the needs of all students, as well as being transparent with that to all, filling in the gap between teachers and students and parents to do so. But I also believe that the district has done an amazing job, but we can always build on what we've done successfully and continue working together to support all students.
Am I on? Okay. I actually participated in a great webinar that talked about the difference between equality and equity, and I still remember this graphic that they showed where equality would be like providing a fruit tree to everybody, but because not everybody is the same height, not everybody can reach the fruit and participate and partake of that fruit that's on the tree. And so equity then would be where you would provide various heights of stands for people that are shorter to be able to reach up and get that fruit and participate and have that same benefit as everybody else. And I think that just kind of, gives a great visual of how, that's what we're really striving for is equity when it comes to education, is providing students with that opportunity to, become their very best, whatever that looks like for them individually. I know that thinking back on my experience in education, I didn't take my first interest survey in terms of what I felt like I wanted to do in my life. I don't recall doing that until I got into college. And I know there's stuff out there, and it would be kind of cool to be able to kind of incorporate that into some of the lower grades. I know we did a whole career unit when I was in 8th grade in junior high in Arizona, where we got a chance to research a particular career. But, that was just kind of a shot in the dark. I thought, why couldn't you participate and give these kinds of surveys to younger students to get them at least thinking about it a lot sooner than, a junior, senior year in high school? And so I think that would be a nice addition that you could provide students to get them thinking, because, there is a lot of career opportunities out there that don't necessarily require a college degree. And giving them that opportunity to have a job shadowing, which the school district, my wife's a dietitian, and she has had experiences where students from Kootenai have come in and job shadowed and so forth, and I think there's a great partnership between Kootenai and the district with that. But, why not expand it to more than just medical fields? Look at industries and so on and so forth. And so those would be things that I think the district could certainly kind of push forward as an opportunity for students to look at and get an idea of, well, yeah, maybe that's something I would like to pursue as I get older. Thank you.
Thank you. I think when we start talking about equity, I think we need to try to be careful in the terms that we're using and the ways that we're using them. I think as we kind of heard tonight, there's maybe some differences between what equity is and what equality is. And equity might look at outcomes and make sure that there's a same outcome. And maybe it's used in this context in the schools, maybe it's not. But then there's also equality, which is just fair access to things along the way, and understanding that people in general, society and community aren't going to all be the same. And that's okay. And I think that's something that should be celebrated. Not everybody goes to the same college, gets the same kind of degree, to the same classes, earns the same grades. People go to trade schools. People go right out of high school and into the workforce right away. And so I guess the point I'm trying to put forth is that we know that there's this equity framework that was adopted, implemented, is trying to be, and I think that, again, kind of going back to my earlier points, make sure that we are responsive to parents and families and listen to their input as well. And in the process of that, just make sure that we're clear about what we're talking about, equity, equality. Are we meaning the same thing, or are they different? And just being clear with that so we know what our objectives are. Thank you.
So what does equity mean to me in a public school setting? I think that it's vital that we as a public school offer a robust education to all of our students. I think we should have the goal that they will learn and grow and gain skills while they're spending the large amount of time that students spend in schooling. I think it's also vital that we give individuals and their families the tools they need to get there. And different individuals and different families need different tools to get to where we would like to see our graduates be. I think everyone should feel safe and welcome in our schools. I think that's a component of equity as well. All students should feel like they belong here. I think one of the strengths and one of the things that makes the United States a land of opportunity truly is that we educate everyone. We care about everyone's education, and we put resources, time, taxpayers put money into educating everyone. So I think we need, to me, equity is taking that commitment that we've made to all of the young people and applying it to where they are. Families have different situations. I think I noticed, so I read the equity framework again today, and one thing that caught my attention was one of the things that the district is tracking is the response to the question from the parental survey, I feel welcome in my child's school. And because we want parents to feel welcome in their child's school, I really think it's great that the district is paying attention to that and hopefully able to take that info and make changes as needed. So I think as a trustee, of course, we're not in individual classrooms. So our job is to provide curriculum and framework to to kind of provide the big picture things that administrators and teachers and staff can use to go out and implement that and make sure all students feel welcome in their school, all students' parents feel welcome in their school, and that they're all being given the tools they need to meet the goals that we would like to see them reach.
Kind of have one last question, and then I'll give you a chance to each do a kind of like a final word. And this last kind of question is kind of two parts. Okay, one is, do you have the time in your day-to-day life and in your calendar to do this role? And if appointed, do you intend to run for this seat in 2023? Mr. Patterson, we'll let you go first.
In regard to my, okay, am I on? Okay. In regard to time, sure, I absolutely have the time that I could devote to this. Fortunately, with my current position as a health education specialist with Panhandle Health, my nights and weekends are free. I don't have to grade papers. I don't have to, prep for the next day, as I did for so many years, and that's been a real blessing. Do I intend to run for the position when this is done? But that was the second part of the question. I guess it would depend on the Piñonce. It would be nice if I'm sure I will enjoy the position if I'm offered that opportunity, but I'd have to probably take a look at the financial status to see if I would have the financial means to do that. Maybe I'd have to go out and beat some bushes, but nonetheless, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think when things are important to us, we kind of find time to make it happen, and there's nothing worth doing that you're not going to make it a priority. So, am I going to have time to be a trustee? Absolutely. It's about time management and budgeting your time. And again, when there are things that are important to us, that's when we make things happen. So, absolutely, I will have the time to be a trustee. Do I plan to run again? I do, because don't see things through halfway, right? You're not going to jump in and sit here tonight with an eye on the way out, right? So I'm coming in as a trustee. I want to be a part of the board, and I don't see myself leaving, because this is all the reasons why I applied are the reasons why I want to be a trustee. And so here I am, and so I don't have any plans to not run, to not finish out the term, and I will make sure that I have time that I'll be here. My boss and I had a nice long discussion about this, and he's always been very supportive of me, and we're going to make this work. Thank you.
I do have the time for this position. I currently am employed by an accounting firm, but I work part-time and remotely, so I'm fairly flexible in my timing. As far as running in 2023, I would love to run as long as community members were supportive of that run. I would definitely do that.
As I mentioned in my application, I did substitute teaching and I took another business opportunity. I have children who play club sports, and those of you who know that's can be quite expensive. And so I did take another opportunity, but it's a flexible opportunity. It's the hospitality industry, and with Coeur d'Alene being a tourist town, summers are definitely our high season. And so during the school year, it definitely slows down. I do have flexible hours. A lot of it's done at home. I pop into the place of business a couple times, but other than that, I do a lot of work just through my phone or at home and things, and that's why I took that opportunity. I would, jumping into this was definitely not on my radar. And so, but I will say this last week and a half, just what I've been diving into, what's online with our district, and just some of the information I've been gathering and talking with parents and teachers, I really 100% would run again, or run when it became available. Just because I guess I kind of found a new passion for it, I guess. Like I said, and I'll be honest, up until today, I'd never even stepped foot in this building. But with that, like I said, my husband and I, we are very active in the district. Even though I'm no longer actively subbing, we are involved in sports. We attend plays. We attend our own kids' events. We attend other kids' events that of friends, and we just really, really support the students in this community. And so I would definitely, it would not affect my ability to serve one bit. So having another outside job, like I said, the flexibility is there, and I'm one of those that when I decide to do something, I'm all in.
I'm going to give each of you then just a couple minutes here just to wrap up if there's anything you thought of that you wish that you had said. And so just a couple statements of, again, maybe who you are and why this is important to you.
Thank you. So I guess once again, I'm here as a dad and seeing our children become the best people they can be. And that role that education has for them. As I mentioned tonight, not just a one-issue applicant, not here saying that I have a pet project that I want to see through. I want to put in the work and look at everything that a trustee has to do. And I want to be able to listen and observe and listen to people that come into our meetings, listen to the data, the facts, the trends, presentations that are given to us at those board meetings, and look at where we can make things better and where we can improve. On November 1st, there was a young lady that wanted to stand up and speak to the board and talked about block scheduling and why that was important to her. And that's the part of this job that I'm really excited for, is to listen to them, because that's who we're here for, right? We're here for the children. We're here to see how we can make their education experience the best that it can be. And I think that's why, too, that policy 1400 says that trustees should go to the schools, should be inside the campuses, to be able to see what's happening there, hear from them, and make the best decisions that we can that set them up for success in their lives. That's why I'm here tonight. That's why I'd love the opportunity to be the next Zone 3 trustee. Thank you.
I'm primarily here again because I believe in public schooling, and I believe in our public schools. I have seen it work well in my children's lives. I appreciate the variety of programs that our school district has offered, especially as my kids have gotten into high school. I have really appreciated just the diversity of opportunities available to them. And my oldest daughter is going to college, and so she chose AP classes and college prep tracks, but there were a lot of other tracks available that many of her peers went with and are now succeeding with as they've graduated also. And so I like the success that I see from our students when they graduate, and I would like to contribute to that as a board member. I wrote in my initial application materials that my three main objectives were to attract and retain good people, provide quality and diverse programs, and plan and prepare for growth. And because as a board, we kind of set this frame that then other people build on, who are great. We have some super talented administrators and teachers and staff in our district. And so good people, good programs, good places. That's what I think I would like to help provide for our school district as a board member. Thank you.
So like I mentioned in the beginning, my kids have all gone through the school district here, and I want to say I've probably run the gamut of, I've had a child who went through the school system with honor classes, excelled academically and in athletics, and was socially healthy and emotionally healthy. And I've had a child who has struggled at an early age with learning disability and paying attention and comprehension. We had to work closely with counselors, her teachers, therapists, putting together an educational plan, and administrators, and making sure that her needs were met through her education plan. And there was, so I feel in that sense I can relate to a lot of parents, the struggles that you deal with, the homework tiers that I mentioned in my letter. But in the end, we had an amazing network of support through the district, through several teachers and counselors. And again, it was, and she's done great. And I've also have a child who has a medical condition, who has a 504 plan filed with the district. And so I know, again, we've worked closely with the school nurse and the teachers, and making sure that her and their patients, and helping her meet her educational goals, when she's has some difficult mornings. And so it's just, I appreciate what this district has done for our family and for my children. And I also, I applied as a parent. I don't have an agenda except to continue providing, quality education for our students and helping them, sustain themselves upon graduation, and applying their knowledge and skills and talents. And again, I really feel that I could, just be someone that several parents, like I said, running, where I've had experienced the extremes in the system, in the district. I just feel that I would be someone that would be approachable. I feel that I could relate. I feel like I could be a voice of discernment and sensitivity. I know that there's a lot at stake, and emotions are very high. It's been a very difficult last couple of years for several parents and students and teachers and board members. And I feel that I could just contribute in a way that keep the focus on our goal, although we may have differences of opinions and views. But I feel that if we're not united in heart, we can do great things.
Again, I would like to thank the board for the opportunity to be here tonight. It's been a real privilege on my part to be part of the process, and I thank you. It's been said that the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. And as a career educator, I do have a definite passion for education. I wouldn't have stayed in it as long as I did had I not enjoyed doing what I did. And I still enjoy teaching, whether that's in a volunteer situation or doing what I'm doing, working with seniors, et cetera. Because of that experience, I feel like it's also given me a perspective where I've seen that unless you are listening to all sides and allowing everyone to contribute to the dialogue, that good decisions are never going to be really made, that it's going to be kind of a Band-Aid here and there. And so that perspective, I think, is incredibly important to ensure that despite differences, we can still be unified, because everybody feels like they've got a voice and they've been heard. Thank you.
Thank you. It's going to take us a few minutes just to take some notes, and so this is kind of that period where you get to sit and watch us take notes.
Sure.
So, but thank you to start with. Thank you so much. So let us take some notes, and then we'll move on to the next part. Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Is Lynn gonna collect these? Perfect.
Before we move back into kind of just this time of discussion, I'd just like to take a moment to thank all four of you. Your answers tonight, just your involvement in being here, it's clear that each of you has a desire to serve and knows our district and some of the things that we're facing. And so I really appreciate that so much. So I don't know if you'd each like to say something to start with.
Yeah, thank you for coming tonight and showing or allowing us to listen to your thoughts on public education as it pertains to Coeur d'Alene. So it's not an easy thing to do. So I really appreciate your commitment and service to our community.
Yeah, again, I'd just like to thank you for being here. If we could, I know there's not a lot of us left, but can we give these guys a round of applause? They did a really nice job. Unfortunately, you didn't make our jobs easy for us. And I think it speaks to our community that we have four talented people here before us tonight with a passion and a desire to serve. And so I appreciate y'all for that. And thank you. And thank you for those who are tuning in at home and those who are here with us tonight on this windy night.
I think we're going to make it through without power outage. Trustee Morrisroe, Trustee May, do we want to do any discussion or just go ahead and vote? We had left it open to do our vote first and then, all right, do our vote first. So if you want to go ahead and vote and then we can discuss from there.
All right, thank you. So I will be reading these into the record. Trustee Morrisroe has cast his vote for Jen Jean Selmy, if I'm saying that correctly. Trustee Smith has cast her vote for Heather Tenbrink. Trustee May has cast her vote for Heather Tenbrink. So we have 2 votes.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Town. Do we have any discussion after that, or are we ready to accept that, or any other thoughts or comments, or? Yeah,
I'll
do you
make
wanna
a comment.
couple?
So, I think for me, kind of one of the key questions there was, what's the big challenge our district is facing? And I think you all did a nice job hitting that. I think as a sitting trustee, I would say just the disconnect of our community and our country, not disconnect, but the disagreement that we have. And at times an inability to come together and to have just a grounded discussion without finger pointing and yelling and screaming and those sorts of things. And so to me, that was something really big that I looked for as I evaluated your guys' responses, your information. I think the other thing that's important to me, given the discussion around high school bell schedules, is a voice for Lake City High School. Because I think if you polled Lake City High School, they feel very underrepresented with the current board because they lost really 2 board members, or one, a strong one, Tamber Pickford, that carried seat 3 before, zone 3 before. So that was another, I guess, big point for me. Heather, I know you said your kids went through high school here, through Lake City or CHS? I wasn't sure.
My daughter graduated from Lake City. I have 2 more children in Lake City and a daughter, or no, another in middle school.
So I was, like I said, I was blown away with all 4 of you guys. And I certainly could understand a vote for any of you. And I think any of them would make fine candidates or fine trustees. And I think it's important that we're unified. And so I would support Heather as a Zone 3 trustee.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would just echo Trustee Morrisrow's comments. It was not an easy decision tonight, and each of you had a very unique skill set that you would bring to the board. And I think for me, Heather, your objectives just really resonated with me, and I think you speak to what I think will be the biggest issue facing the district as we move forward, and that will be the recruitment and retention of teachers. As the price of homes continues to increase, we're going to have a hard time keeping our good teachers here, recruiting young teachers, and so I appreciated your understanding of that issue. So for me, that was an important piece.
To echo Trustee Morrisrow when he says any of you would serve well. I do appreciate, Heather, just your words on bringing the community members together and to understand what's going on in our schools, and that's work that that I heard you champion in that. And then what does that mean in order to do the programs that we are doing and whatever the future looks like? So I appreciate that as well. It was not an easy decision. Please know that. So so I appreciate each of you as well. Do I have a motion then? Oh, is that our motion? Votes our motion. So is there any other? That's what we have to do. Okay. All right. Well, to everyone that's been here and been part of the process at home and as well, we want to give you thanks. And so thank you as well. And congratulations, Heather. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.